So if you have any questions, like I said, during the entire um, program, just go ahead and put them into the chat and then we'll answer them as we go along. And as I said, welcome to the webinar. We are going to be showing you all the new features we have in RevPal, which is part of the analytics portion of BookingPal. So the first thing we're going to go over is, let me move this down for a moment. And the first thing we're going to go over is the new dashboard itself. So this right here, the reason you see RevPal up here, this is our new analytics page. This is going to help you understand everything that's going on with your BookingPal account with all the channels that you're using through us. You can see here that you're going to be able to get snapshots by both arrival date and by booking date. It's going to give you total number of reservations, your revenue, ADR, your average length of stay, total book nights, total cancellations, total number of book listings. It's going to give you everything that you need to help run your business and increase your revenue. Down here, you have your revenue by channel, and it's going to break that down for you and tell you exactly where your bookings are coming from. This is your revenue, and then your reservations, it will do the same thing. Right here this is your breakdown of properties per each channel. So you can see for this property manager, they have they have 11 of their properties on every channel. And you can see, so that's all they're ready to list properties. They have a total of 13. So they're missing 2 properties, which that means they definitely want to take a look at those and make sure that they get those live to get more revenue on there too. One of the most exciting things that we've come up with is your actual RevPal, your revenue per available listings. What this is going to give you a snapshot, and I'm going to go back to September so it gives us a little bit more information. This is going to give you the data breakdown daily of everything that all of your properties are doing that we're pushing for you to the different channels. So you see here on Wednesday the 3rd, it's telling you that you have 8 book days on the 3rd. It's telling you that you have 3 vacant days, and those are on obviously on the properties that aren't booking right now. And then the gray is the number of block days. That's what you will be sending us, whether that is direct bookings on your channel or if it's a maintenance issue or anything like that. That's going to show you exactly what is open and what is not on these given channels. And you can see here just as your total. See, for the month of September, they have a revenue per available listing of $94.32. So for 11 properties, that's definitely not too shabby. One thing that you can do here is you can download this and you can export the data if you need to. You can also do this by property itself. So say we go down to Red Canyon Lodge, it's going to show you right here all of what we're getting for this specific channel or for this specific property. You can see it wasn't booked here, but we've booked it there for you, there, and so on. And with this metric, like I said, you're going to be able to easily see your key numbers like your occupancy rate, your RevPal, so that it's going to provide you with a clear picture and help you uncover more revenue opportunities. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pass it over to Chelsea, who's going to go over the reservations tab for us.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Paula. The reservation tab has existed forever, but we've made it a lot easier to look at and clearly see exactly what's going on with these reservations. Up at the top, we do have different filters. If you could scroll up a little bit, Paula. To the filter. Thank you so much, Paula. You could filter it by specific channel. So if you're looking at, you want to see just your reservations that came in through Google or just through booking.com, you could filter it to that. You can also filter it by days, and that could be either the check-in day or the create day. or the checkout day as well. So if you wanted to see all of the bookings that were checking out for this month or last month, you could filter by any of those things. So that's really great. And then a little bit lower down, you have different tabs showing either all of your reservations, which could be a little bit overwhelming, or you could just look at upcoming future reservations, ones that are in progress, so ones that are currently staying in the homes, completed, so past reservations, any canceled and failed. Hopefully you'll have very few of those. We do try to limit the failed as much as we can. And then if you go down, there's quite a few different columns we have here that show different information for each of the bookings that occur. One of the ones that is very important is the transaction status that is over there in the middle. And we do have that a little bit, it's color coded. So successful, and then the dollar amount that is used for the channels where you are the merchant of record, and that means that payment was processed on your side, versus the yellow, if you see down here, this Airbnb booking, it says that it was collected by the channel. So the channel is the merchant of record there, and it was successfully collected. If this was a canceled or failed reservation, that would be in red, and it would say either failed or canceled because the payment was not collected. Then you can see what channel these bookings were on very easily just by seeing the icons right there for each of the channels. And then one of our newest features that we are super excited about is the clarity report. So the clarity report is a new report that helps break down all of the money that's coming in for bookings so that you can more easily see exactly where the money's coming from and where it's going. So when you first click on this report, you see the overall, the summary of that payout, and it shows you the full amounts, including the nightly rate, the fees, the taxes, as well as the commissions down at the bottom. And then if you wanted to go more into detail for this specific reservation, you can either click where it says summary fees, or up at the top where it says nightly rate. Let's go ahead and go to the nightly rate first, Paula. Thank you so much. And right here, you will see a lot of different details. First, up at the top, you'll see whether or not there's a markup. The markup showing here is markup that was added in the BookingPal system. Hopefully you all realize that you can use the rate/fee adjuster in BookingPal to either mark up or mark down all of your rates and fees as well in BookingPal. This particular PM, this is just a test account we have, but they did actually a markdown. It's a 3% discount on their rates. And then for strategy, they are on the rack. In order to use the rate fee adjuster in BookingPal, you do need to have your strategy on the rack versus the net. Net is another option we have where everything is done in the background, but then you couldn't use customized rate adjusters. If you do want to use customized rate adjusters and you're currently on net, just let your account manager know, and we can switch you over to the rack rate so that you guys can customize your markups and markdowns for the fees and the rates. Then you can see what it's per night. So you could see the amount per night. For instance, on this booking, it was $203.70 per night. And it's just super useful to be able to see exactly what is coming over. The next tab over, we'll see the fees. And this is really great, especially for channels that tend to bundle up the fees. Booking.com does this a lot, where if you have a bunch of different fees with different names, they're going to bundle them all up and they're going to call it something like a resort fee or a heritage fee. And you'll probably notice that if you look at your listings on Booking.com, you'll be like, hey, why does this say resort fee? I don't have any fees called resort fee. But if you come into your clarity report, it's going to break down how those fees were bundled. This one, none of the fees were bundled. The processing fee went straight over to the pass-through resort fee. So you don't see an example of that, but you would see that for Booking.com bookings, where you would see, like, it would say 60% of that resort fee was for this specific fee, your processing fee, and 40% was for this other fee. It is a very nice feature so that you can see, once again, everything that was bundled together. And we do, this property manager does have a 5% markup on their fees. And again, that is set in your rate fee adjuster in BookingPal. And yeah, and we can go over to the tax tab now. And the tax tab does something very similar to the fee tab, is it shows the breakdown of the taxes and how they're going to show up in the channel. So on the right hand side, it says channel tax, and it's showing how the tax shows on the channel. And then on the other side, we have the supplier tax showing what it was called. For instance, this tax was called VAT, which is actually a Mexican tax. So it could be, your Florida state tax, or it could be Georgia tax, or whatever it will be. It'll be whatever you have it named in your PMS software is how it's going to appear here. And then the very last tab is the commission. And this is to help show the commission for that booking. This particular PM is paying a 7% commission for the supplier. And the supplier in this case is the channel. So Airbnb, so 7%. And then the BookingPal commission, this particular PM is paying 3%. And it does have a note saying this will be charged later. And that's because BookingPal doesn't charge commissions before any payouts are made to you. We invoice it for you later. And that's why that note is there. And then the channel commission here is just the total between that supplier and BookingPal commission, so that you can see that. And once again, we love the clarity report because it just shows us so many different details about everything that's going on in your bookings. Oh, but if we could go back to the reservation report, I did miss one little detail there. And that is the export button at the very top. In order, if you, right there, you can export all of this information to an Excel at any time. And that way you can very easily, filter through, do your accounting, whatever needs to be done to see where all the information is coming from. It just really helps you to be able to analyze all of that data. We do also have the award tab here in the middle. This is more important when you have, when you're connected to channels like Hyatt or Marriott, where they do have points bookings. You need to be sure to come in here and double check if it was a points bookings or not, so that you can know when you're going to get your payouts for that particular booking. Yeah. Have I missed anything on this one, Paula? I think that about covers it.
No, I think you did great. While we're here,
Awesome.
does anybody have any questions concerning the clarity report?
Yeah, you can go ahead and just type your question here in the chat.
Or you can go ahead and ask, since you just put your hand up. Go for it.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, Paula. I raised my hand too soon. I have a question about something else, but not about what you've shown so far. Thank you. It's very good so far.
Okay. So we'll go through some other things. And if we don't go over it while we're on here, you can definitely ask it at the very end. How's that?
Okay, great. Thanks, Paula.
You're welcome.
Chelsea.
Awesome.
Okay, so the next thing that we're going to go over is our messaging module. This is great because currently you can see that we can pull your messages from Airbnb, from Booking.com, and from VRBO. What this is going to allow you to do is this makes it much easier for you because you don't have to log into every single extranet to answer and ask any questions of your guests. So like right here, you see this is a Booking.com. The nice thing about it is once you click on this, it's going to give you the reservation details over here, so you know exactly who you're talking to about which property you're looking at. And like I said, it's going to let you do it all in one place. You can see right here some of the questions that the property manager and the guest are asking each other. The other thing that you can send through here is your rental agreement. Now for Airbnb, when it comes to a rental agreement, it will have to be in Word form in order for it to go over through here, but you are able to send that over so that your guests can sign it. You're able to, if you'd like, you can do this by just Airbnb reservations, just Booking.com. You see we have it for VRBO as well, or you can just keep it for all. And again, all you have to do is click on that one property or click on the property name, and you're able to see it here. Again, this feature is amazing because you don't have to go into those different OTA extranets because we know they're bulky as well as you do. So we want to make sure that you're able to do everything in here in one fell swoop. Does anybody have any messaging questions? Yes, Javier, what you got?
I sent it through the messages, but I had an interesting request today from a guest on hotels.com that our properties are on there with rates in 2027. And he sent us a screenshot or a link to it, which is true. But I don't have my rates loaded for 2027. So just a question because I'm confused.
Okay, hotels.com is part of
Expedia?
Expedia, I believe. So are we pushing your properties to Expedia or is that going over directly from VRBO?
I checked on the distribution and we do have Expedia. It's opted in,
Okay,
distributed. I'm looking at here, connected, as they say.
okay.
Uh, so I don't know. I guess I could go in through there and see what is loaded, but it's I'm supposed to extract it from my software, right?
Right. So the biggest thing on this one, and this is for everybody, because obviously, Javier, you sent a stump me question like you're very good at. So, I mean, the biggest thing is make sure that if you have a question like this and it's something a little squirrely like this,
All
to send it into support. So, and you can also put your account manager on that as well, just so they can help you determine what's going on as quickly as possible. Um, what I want to look for you,
we can
Javier.
come back to it. I don't want to take up too much time. I
Yeah.
just might have an answer.
Yeah, because like I said, that one's a tough one. I'm not really
Yeah.
sure about that one, but we'll
Awesome.
we'll check it out for you. Just send an email over to support, and we'll
Mm.
make sure we take care of that one for you.
Chris
All right.
did have a question about the payment payout summary for a booking.com reservation. You will find that you will get errors on bookings that were created prior to us rolling this out. So if you have bookings that are prior to very recently, then they will have either an error message or they just won't have information on them, Chris. So unfortunately, we can't backdate the information and we have to do it just moving forward for newer reservations as they come out.
Yes, Raisa?
Chris, and I also wanted to mention that that specific text that you mentioned for modifications, that it's expected. Right now, the clarity report it's working really good for Airbnb, Booking.com, HVMI, and some other niche channels, but for new bookings. The ones that are modifications, they have a different logic behind it. So that's right now in progress on our side. But right now, modifications you won't see in the clarity report.
Anything else, folks?
Hi, I have just one question.
Okay.
Gene from Acme House Company. Um, the um, the fees. So we have short-term reservations in Palm Springs that are 28 nights and less, and then we have seasonal that are tax exempt that are 29 nights and longer. We had a separate fee for the long-term ones, which included kind of a mid-stay tidy clean. So it was $100 more. And then our damage waiver, because it's longer term, was a little bit higher as well. We ran into issues with Plum Guide. All of our listings were coming through and nobody was able to book for a couple months now. I finally think I figured it out today, but there's no way of separating fees. You can only have one set housekeeping fee and one set damage waiver fee. Is that correct?
Per property, you can have different ones, or are you saying you have short term and long term for the same property?
Right. Yeah. So if we have to register it with the city, if it's a short term and we don't, if it's 29 nights or longer. So our damage waiver basically was like another $75 higher than a short term one. And our cleaning fee was $100 higher, which included a second. It got confused in the system. And so they were coming through with multiple fees and then blocking reservations. I have not been able to get a clear answer from BookingPal about this problem. So today I removed the fees and just made everything just one straight thing. I
Okay.
hope that I don't have to do that, or if there's any sort of a solution, because they should have a higher fee.
I actually have a possible idea on that, but this will be a little more involved. So let's do this. Let's set up a call and set up a call with your account manager because I have some ideas that we might be able to help you with.
Okay, that would be perfect.
Go ahead, Risa.
Thank you. I was going to say something similar. Let's definitely review that separately on a meeting. I think, I mean, I know you use Track, so we should be able to figure out a setup for us to get the fees depending on the length of a stay of the reservation. That is possible.
Okay, yeah, if you guys just want to look at the ticket, I have an ongoing very long ticket about this, so we're just trying to get it fixed.
Right. Thank you.
Sounds good. So that we can keep going, we're going to move over to reviews. This reviews section is amazing because what this is going to do for you is it's AI analytics, and it's going to help you with helping your reservationist. It's going to help your maintenance. It's going to help your cleaners. And it's even going to help you give you some ammunition with your actual owners to make sure that your properties are set up the way they need to be and you're getting fives with everybody. So right here you see the overview, and it shows you that your average rating on Airbnb is 4.5, the same as your average rating on booking.com. Now, if you scroll down, you're going to see some of your different um, reviews that have come in from the different channels. So right here for your Crystal Lake Resort, you see this is a 5. This is great. You have a beautiful apartment, very clean, warm, and the person is giving you a great review. Now, if you scroll down a little bit, you see Ocean Breeze. While you still got a 5, they're still giving you a few little tweaks. Like there should be more closets in the bedroom. Obviously, that's not going to be something that you can fix easily, but you can also see that, the rug below the beds, we found trash below, things like that. So you go to your cleaning crew right then and you say, hey, listen, you need to check this out. Another one right here, the AC unit in the unit was loud, hindering a restful sleep. Obviously, that's when you go to your maintenance department and say, hey, you need to get this checked out. There are some, and it's going to give you priorities levels too. You see high priority, Wi-Fi repair, things like that. Now, one thing that you're going to be able to do is that's just your overview. You can go to a detailed view and you can go directly to the property. And right here, it's going to show you your reviews, and it's going to show you exactly what your guests liked about this property and what it didn't like. So things like the noise and construction, whereas you can't really do much about that if there's construction going on, you can add it to your descriptions or even into your house rules and things like that to make sure your guests know what's going to happen for them. Cleanliness issues, like I said, go to your cleaning crew and say, hey, what's going on? Same with mold and mildew. Temperature control, that you either go to your automation team or again, you go to your maintenance team. And then kitchen equipment and supplies, that's where you can go to your owner and you can say, hey, listen, people are really asking for these amenities. Help us out so that we can help you get better review scores, because obviously we know anymore when it comes to reviews, that is what is determining placement on channels as well as pricing and things like that. But it's amenities and reviews that are the key right now. And obviously, the stronger reputation you have, the more revenue that you're going to get.
And this is currently only for booking.com and Airbnb at the moment, correct?
Correct. And we are working on getting other channels. And the one thing you do want to remember is these are when you're using us for these channels. If you're not using us for Airbnb and Booking, we can't pull your reviews over. But if we are distributing to these places for you, you're able to do so. And you can see Expedia and VRBO are coming soon.
And Chris had a great question, which is there the ability to add house rules or another message that's displayed dependent on the stay date searched or booked, which I know currently we don't have that, but it's a great feature for us to look into adding into the pipeline.
Yes, definitely. And Chris, send that information over to us because that would be a good one that we can send over to our dev team.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Okay, with reviews that we're done with now, we're going to go back to Chelsea and she's going to go over the property section for us.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Paula. So the properties section is depending on your PMS software that you're currently using, or if you use manual CM where you manually put in everything for us, or if you're really lucky, you use RevPal Plus, then we're going to get different information from your PMS. And it's going to show up here in the property section of RevPal. The first thing to look at is there are 3 categories of properties. There's incomplete, and the incomplete properties are properties that have been started. They are connected to us through your PMS software, but we don't have all of the information yet for those properties. Like, for instance, this property you can see is missing the images, the rates, the fees, and the taxes. So if you come into RevPal Plus and you notice that you have a lot of properties under incomplete, you should double check them, see what's missing, add that information into your PMS, and it will flow over to RevPal. And if it still is showing as incomplete, oh, and after that, after you've done it, then you need to check the box at the beginning of the property and do validate the property. Yeah, and then validate the property. And if the information was there now, it would move from the incomplete stage over to the active stage. But if for some reason any information is still missing and you feel like it should be on the property, do let your account manager know or open a ticket with support, and we can look into that more to see why that information is still missing. The other category is the suspended category, and that's when you put a property on hold. Maybe you don't currently want to list it on any channels, but you don't want to completely delete it from the system. Maybe it has a long-term renter in there, or it's going through some maintenance, so you're going to go ahead and put it on hold. That would be under the suspended category. And if you wanted to move this back to active, again, you would just click the box right next to the name of the property, and then you would just hit activate, and that would move that property back to the active stage. And then when properties are in the active stage, you can click on an individual property, and you're going to see all of the information for that particular property. There are 9 different tabs up at the top showing the different sections of the property information. Every section has a little toggle next to it that says either manual or auto. If it is on manual, that means that that information was entered manually in RevPal or via bulk doc with your account manager during the onboarding. If it's set on auto, if that toggle is set on auto, that means that that information is coming directly from your PMS software. If you switch that over to manual, do keep in mind that if you change it in your PMS software, it is no longer going to automatically update in RevPal. So you're going to have to manually change that for each property. So that is definitely something to keep in mind. But if you do want different information than what is in your PMS software, you can manually change it here. The next tab over is the bed configuration, and that's just showing the different bedrooms, the bed types for each bedroom that is in there. Some of the PMSs don't automatically send us this information. It does need to be added manually. So you will want to come in here and just double check that all of this information is accurate. That, for instance, this property manager has it set to manual, which means that they had manually added the bed configurations. The next tab over is the policies tab. And this is for different policies such as internet. This is all set on auto, so that means this is coming automatically from the PMS, but again, you could change it to manual and update this information. So here you can set the internet information, whether you have internet at the property or not, what the password is, where it's located, what kind of Wi-Fi it is, also the parking information. If there's parking that a fee that needs to be paid, if you need to register before getting a parking pass, those sorts of things would be entered here. Next is the pets, whether or not you allow pets, and if you do, how much the pet fee is, price per pet. Price per pet currently only is sent over to Airbnb, not over to any of the other channels as a price per pet. The other channels will accept it just as a flat amount because they don't have the ability to accept the number of pets. There is also the checkout tasks that you can add in here. This is only for Airbnb specifically, but you can add any tasks that you would like the guests to complete before they leave the property. So these would be things like make sure you put all of the towels on the floor in the bathroom, or any of those other tasks that you specifically want them to complete. Again, this is only for Airbnb because they're the only ones who have that. But yeah, and then next over is the cancellation policies. Usually your cancellation policies are set on a channel level. So you would go into the channel specifically and you would set whatever cancellation policy you would like for the complete channel. If you do have a specific property or group of properties that you would like to have a different cancellation policy, you can come into the property level and change it. You do have to unclick where it says use property manager's cancellation policy. And now you can manually change it specifically just for that property. You do have to keep in mind, though, if you change it again on the property management level, like on the whole level, it's not going to update for this property. So you're going to have to remember which ones you had set a specific cancellation policy for. The next tab over is photos. Usually this is always just set to auto and we just pull the photos over directly from your PMS software. But if for some reason you had some photos you didn't want to go into the channels that you connect to for BookingPal, such as Marriott, sometimes they're very specific where you can't have logos on pictures. You can set this to manual and delete those. The next tab over is fees and taxes. I always recommend that you do not change fees and taxes in RevPal. It will cause a disconnect between your PMS software and us if you try to set these manually, and you'll get a lot of failed reservations. So if you need to make any changes to fees and taxes, please, please, please always do it in your PMS software. The next tab over is the rates and availability. And this again should come from your PMS software depending on what connection you have. But it is good just to come in here and just verify that everything looks accurate. And you do have a lot of different views here that you can look at to double check the calendars, make sure everything looks accurate. The next tab over is description. Again, most of these are set to auto. It looks like the display name is set to manual, but if you wanted to have a different description, you could change it over, or house rules as well. You can change it over to manual and have it manually set. Especially for house rules, a lot of people like to do this because a lot of the PMS softwares don't send us the house rules. So you might want to just go in and look at your properties and double check that house rules are set. And if you do have a lot of properties and you don't want to go and do it manually one by one, let your account manager know. And we can, if you just send us the house rules, we can update everything all at once in a bulk way. And then the last tab is amenities. And this is one of the most important tabs. We do have two columns here. One side is resort amenities, and these are for amenities that are in a community. For instance, if there's a park in the neighborhood or a pool that's a community pool, you would put it under the resort amenities side of the amenities tab. Versus if you have private amenities that are specific just to this unit or this home, it would go under the room amenities side. So if there's a pool in the backyard, it would go over on this side, versus the other side is more for the community pool. Now, you do want to just double check that you have every single possible amenity selected that you can, and all of the different wording as well, because sometimes, it'll go to one channel and not to another channel, depending on the wording that is used. And we don't always get all of the amenities from the PMS software. Sometimes we have a lot more amenities that they don't even have options for. So I highly, highly recommend that you do come in and double check your amenities, because this is one thing that is going to affect how you show up on the different channels. Like, you are going to have a higher up on the channels if you have all of these amenities set. And Booking.com their descriptions are set mostly using just the amenities. So the more accurate the amenities are, the better your descriptions are going to be for your properties. If you do have a lot of properties and you don't want to manually go through and check all of these amenities, speak to your account manager, because they can do this in bulk. They can download a sheet for you and send it over to you to show you all of the amenities on all of your properties. You can update the sheet, send it back, and we can upload this so that we can do all of this instead of having to go manually one by one, which can be very time consuming. So again, reach out to your account manager at any time because we are here to help you. Yeah. And I do believe that is it for properties. Thank you so much, Paula.
And the only one thing that I do want to add to this is going into this section, showing you how easy it is to add an amenity. If you go in here and you click living room and you go in here and click oven, obviously this is a test, and you hit patio, balcony, and you go all the way through and just click a bunch of things to zhuzh your property. And I know if you have talked to me before, I always talk about zhuzhing properties. So once you do all that, you would just click store amenities. And then once you do that, it's going to go over to the OTAs that you're using through us. So that's going to help you. Now, if this is we always like you to do this before the property goes live, especially for booking.com, to make it so that you don't have to go to booking.com and say, hey, can you change my description? Because since your description is based on the amenities, you want to make sure you have as many in here as possible up front. If not, you're able to go into booking.com and request that, but it's much easier to do all this up front before you put the property live.
Awesome. Raisa?
Thank you. I just wanted to mention that we have a question from Austin that I briefly responded on the chat, but I think it's good to mention it for everyone. The question is, will the similar edit property pages in my BookingPal, not RevPal, be getting removed? Should we be updating both or just focusing on these pages in RevPal? And well, I just wanted to mention that the dashboard that you're looking at, the RevPal dashboard, this is the source of truth. This is where you can check, where you can manage, edit all your properties. You don't need to do it in any other place. This is it.
Any other questions before we go into our last segment? Okay, here we go. Now, the last segment, and obviously one of the most important, is the distribution. And you see here all the different channels that BookingPal is able to get you to. We have everything from the big ones of the Booking.com, Airbnb, Google, VRBO HomeAway, Hopper, HVMI. We have all the large ones for you. We also here have our exclusive channels, which one is missing, but I will say it anyway. We have 2 exclusive channels currently, and that's Homes and Hideaways by World of Hyatt. And we have Select Homes and Retreats by American Express Travel. Now, both of those, just so you know, like I said, first, they're exclusive. Second, they are by invitation only. So if you are interested in either of those channels, please let your account manager know so that we can go directly to the channels and talk to them and help them to curate your properties to see if it's something that you would like to go to. Now, the biggest thing when it comes to the distribution is, again, and I know we've already said this about 20 times on this call, but what you want to do is you want to get with your account manager. They're going to help you set up strategic distribution. You're going to hear out there, like if you're going to VRMA in the next couple weeks, or you hear the different podcasts that are out there, is get on every channel, get on every channel, get on every channel, no matter what. Now, yes, that can help you with exposure, but by going with a strategic distribution, things like, getting on Hopper for the Gen Z crowd, getting on Whimstay for last minute bookings, getting on Emerald Coast by Owner if you're in the Gulf of Mexico area, get with your account manager and they're going to help you determine what is best for you. And again, if you're looking at, obviously you can go in here there. We're going to train you how to do all this yourself if you want to go on to different channels. But again, any advice that you need, any suggestions that you want, go to Chelsea, go to Rodrigo, go to Adrian, go to Risa, go to your account managers, and they're going to help you get your properties to the best channels that are going to help you increase your revenue.
And we are always adding more channels as well. So if there's a channel that you don't see here that you would like to see here, please let us know so that we can add that on and get us connected to that as well. Because we're always looking for more channels that are going to generate more revenue for all of our clients.
Yeah, you'll see some coming soon. We're going to have Golf Home. We're going to have Lake.com, things like that that are going to help with the niche markets. So anything that you're trying to get to that you can't get direct from your property management software, let us know and we'll try to get them involved with us as soon as we can.
Awesome. So just to close this out real quick, I do want to mention we are always creating new features. If you have new feature ideas, please let us know because we want this to work great for you. So if you have an idea, just like Chris had an idea of something that could be a great feature, let us know so we can try to get it implemented. We are currently working on elevated RevPal and extra insights as well. We're also working on Booking.com opportunities and Airbnb insights as well. So there's a lot of great things on the horizon. Keep your eyes out for the newsletters. We send them out. I know sometimes they'll end up in spam, but do keep your eyes out because every time we come up with something new, we just want to share it with you all and make sure you guys see it. If you have any questions or need any help with anything at all, please, please, please schedule a meeting with your account managers. Paula, you want to show us the account management team?
Yes, first and foremost, if you look in the chat, there is a poll link in there. So just so you know, when it comes to the polls, the first 25 people that fill this out and send this back to us, you're going to get a little treat from BookingPal. So definitely go back there and fill it out when you have the opportunity. And talking about our account management team, here we go. You have Chelsea that you're looking at right there.
Yep.
You have Adrian Prieto and you have Rodrigo de la Madrid, as well as Risa. And even though I'm not always supposed to do it, I do some as well. So just so you know for that. Go ahead, Chelsea.
Yep. No, we are always here. My Calendly link is in my signature. I'm pretty sure all of our Calendly links are, and I love meeting with all of my clients. So, you put a meeting on my calendar and I'm excited. I'm like, yeah, I get to talk to somebody today. So please, please, please just schedule a meeting. Any questions you have at any time, because we are here to help and that's what we want to do. You had a question?
Yeah, we have two extra questions or three
Okay.
total. So let's go with Chris's first. Chris, currently when it comes to promotions, you're able to do Airbnb, Booking.com, and Homes and Villas by Marriott Bonvoy. As soon as other channels allow promotions is when we'll be able to get them. Not all channels do promotions, but when they do, we're working on those on the basis of getting that going. Okay, now you can ask your question that you've been waiting for.
What? Oh, me?
That's you.
Okay.
And then Chris will come back to you.
Thanks, Paula. So I don't currently have an account manager because I am in the capacity of as a consultant, which Paula, for many different property management companies. And some have been, and maybe still are, on BookingPal, but some are on the PMS's version of that, which I'm trying to be very diplomatic here. They're not happy. They're still not, even though it's better than it used to be, they're not happy. I can't take them away from something because that PMS would be very unhappy with me and not give me any more clients. However, what if I have somebody else that I want to bring on or change if they're in a different PMS? What's the best way to approach that?
As usual, just get a hold of me, hun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Paula is
The one thing you want to remember is as much as we want to be, we're not an all or nothing proposition. So if they're having issues with their property management software for certain channels that we can help them with, by all means, reach out to me and I'll schedule a call with them, go through all this with them, and you can be on the call as well. And that way we can see if it's something they'd like to do.
Okay, if they'd like to either change or go on to BookingPal if they don't have a feature like
Correct.
that.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Because just so you know, there are some property management softwares out there that do have direct connections to certain channels.
Mhm.
That those, going back to the politically correct thing that you were talking about, those channels actually recommend us over the direct PMS connection. So it just depends on what the property manager
I
wants.
know. I know. You've helped me with these before, and now like I said, it's better than it used to be, but it's still a problem. And I have people that have lost hundreds of reservations because
Yeah.
of it. So, all
Yeah,
right. Thank you very much.
and give me the intro and we'll go from there.
I will. Thanks.
Now,
Okay.
Amy, I saw that you had a question too. There we go. Go ahead, Amy.
All good. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay. That works.
awesome.
Okay.
Raisa.
Sorry, just wanted to let you all know as well that if by any reason you don't know exactly who your account manager is, you can also contact us at accountsuccess@bookingpal.com. I just posted it in here in the messages, and that's another way. Thank you.
Or just reach out to any of us. We're all happy to help. So
Yes.
we're not gonna say no.
Is there
We
any
love
way
helping.
that, I'm sorry, is there
Mhm.
any way that when we do a ticket and we're going back and forth, I did ask your your tech department to set up a call because, sometimes when you're discussing it, it's so much faster than going back and forth in emails. I haven't found nobody really offered to speak with me when I've asked that several times. I know the answer is to go back to my account manager, but this is kind of a deeper thing within tech. So is there a way of being able to chat with tech when we're having an issue to get things resolved quicker?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. We will. Thank you very much for that feedback, and for sure, yes, we will. We have a support phone number, so I will share it as well with all of you in after this meeting. As we said at the beginning, we will send you a slide deck with all of this information. I will add that as well.
Thank you.
Very welcome.
Anything else, folks? We're here to, we still have some time. We're here to answer any questions that you all may have.
It's me again. I have some clients that are either new to or have transferred or are transitioning to Guesty. How are you working with Guesty at this point?
We do have a connection to Guesty. Now, the one thing that Guesty has requested from us is you can use us through Guesty for the channels that Guesty does not offer.
Okay,
Yeah, but they can still work with us.
got it. Okay, thank you.
I have a question. um, if there's a channel that we're working through directly, like Airbnb, and not through you, what is involved in switching and changing and bringing it all under BookingPal?
Sandra, yeah, if you'd like to bring that over to us, you just get with your account manager and they'll be happy to walk you through it. The one thing that you're going to need to do, I can tell you right now, is you make sure you get, and you can probably ask your Airbnb rep for this, and that is for your Airbnb IDs. If you can get them for your account manager, they'll be able to help you with the switch over, and our project management team will be able to do so as well. Just so you all know, and this is something that's new in the past year as well, we do have a client success team. That's something that we haven't had. And that client success team encompasses all of our support team, all of our account management team, and all of our project management onboarding team. So you now have an entire system behind you. Please don't think you're alone, because you're not like that anymore.
So when you say the IDs, you're talking about, does each property have a separate ID, and that's what you're referring to?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
And Kelsey, going back to your question, that ended up down at the bottom. The easiest way to complete the KYP form, if you do it once for the property, instead of you having to do it individually, honestly, once you do that, reach out to onboarding.home@booking.com, and they'll be able to help you get it into all the other ones. That, yeah, I understand, because that KYP isn't the easiest thing to fill out. But if you at least get it filled out once and then reach out to that email, and I'll put it here in the chat as well. And reach out to that email right there, onboarding.home at, oh, that should be booking.com, not booking. So let me, this way you can actually just copy and paste it. There you go. The second one is correct, folks. So, but if you go to them after you get one filled out, they'll be able to help you do it in bulk. Just like they can help with the payments by booking, they can help you do that in bulk as well. And if you don't know what payments by booking is, again, go to your account manager. They know all about it. Okay, we still have 3 more minutes if anybody else has any other questions. Okay, then, on behalf of myself and Risa, our VP of Operations, and obviously Chelsea, we just want to thank you for your time. If you have any questions, again, you can reach out to the account success at bookingpal.com. You can reach out to your account manager. You can reach out to any of us, and we are more than happy to help you. And again, if you have anything that you would like to see added, please let us know.
And please don't forget to fill out the poll as well.
Yes, yes, the poll is very, very important.
Yeah.
Again, thank you for your time, and we'll be talking to y'all soon.
Thank you all.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Everyone, have a great day.
Bye now.